Okay, so we've already learned about how to identify the point of intersection to a system, and we've talked about that the point of intersection is the solution, okay? And so what we're going to talk about now is if I give you a system, such as here, okay, the way we can solve it is by graphing each equation on the same coordinate plane, and then identifying the point of intersection. And we can still go through the same process of plugging in our coordinates to double check to make sure it's a solution. I'm also going to show you a tool on your calculator that can be really helpful. So let's look at the first example together, and then you're going to be responsible for doing the other ones on your own. And so first off, we're going to focus on the first equation, which says y equals 2x plus 5. And so remember, when we graph, we want to make sure that we whoops, I meant to put mx. We want to identify our slope and our y-intercept, y equals mx plus b. And so in our first equation, our slope is 2, and our y-intercept is 5. Now, when I started making this video, I realized I didn't like these graphs because, look, I realized these were counting by 2s, and that makes it a lot harder. So take a piece of graph paper, and if you read your instructions, you knew that you needed a piece of graph paper before you started this. And so let's graph that slope and y-intercept on this graph paper. So we know our y-intercept is 5. That's what we begin with. So we're going to go on our y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a point. Our slope is 2, or 2 over 1. So remember, that means we're going to move up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. Now I'm going to extend my graph. This is going to be really important. We want to have nice, pretty points. Down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1, because we are looking for an exact point of intersection. So I'm going to leave that graph like that for right now. So let's look at our second equation, and I'm going to do it in a different color. My slope, remember this is an understood 1, so my slope is -1. My y-intercept is 8. Okay, so let's go on our graph. Let's go up to 8. So I already know this is 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if my slope is -1 or -1 over 1, remember that means we're going to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And boom, already I can see right there what my point of intersection is. Right here is my point of intersection. Now, we have to be able to say what that point is. So let's see, my x value is 1. So my x value is 1. My y value, 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I am suggesting that my point of intersection, my solution, is 1, 7. Now, let me show you a really awesome thing you can do with your calculator. So I want everybody to create a new document and add a graph. Add a graph. And then I want you to type in both equations. So we have 2x plus 5. And as I'm doing this, if you want to just watch first and then try to do it on your own, you can do that. So I typed in the first equation, going to arrow down, and then I'm going to type in -x plus 8. Okay. Now just remember, your calculator only holds so many numbers. So sometimes we can't see all of our graphs, so don't panic about that. Don't get really upset if that happens. We can kind of see that they're intersecting up here, and we know that they intersect a little bit higher. You can always zoom in and zoom out by pressing your menu Do you see this window zoom option? You can always zoom your graph in and out. But what I want us to do is I want us to analyze the graph. And our calculator has all these options. And do you see this one that says intersection? I'm going to choose intersection. And it gives us this dotted line, and it says lower bound. That just means left side. What is the left side of your graph? So I'm just sliding this over with my mouse. I haven't clicked yet. And it doesn't have to be really close. So I'm going to go ahead and click. I know that's to the left of my point. So I'm going to click. And now it says upper bound, which means where's the right of your point. So I'm going to slide it without clicking. And it's predicting the intersection, right? I'm going to go ahead and click and hit enter. And look, there it adjusted my graph. And there it's telling me that, yes, our point of intersection is 1, 7. So this is a second way that you could check your graph and make sure that your point of intersection is correct. Now, here's the trick, though. Here's the stipulation. You still have to graph these. I still want to see that you have graphed these equations. And okay, so graph your equations, find your point of intersection, then you can check it with your calculator or by plugging it in. Man, this worksheet's really bad. Notice I took that off. So fix that, take that off. So it's just negative x minus 3. Okay, finish the next 3 problems on your own, and then once again, check in with Mrs. Adams.